don't allow anybody to categorize you. Like, we come into this world looking a certain way, or being born into a certain family, and or just having other people's expectations on us. But it is not up to you to live up to those expectations. It's up to you to live up to your own expectations, right? And when you get your own expectations when you foster a sense of self, right? So when you listen to yourself, when you figure out what you want, and for a long time I didn't know what I wanted, and it took me a while to figure it out. But it was because I wasn't focused on myself. I wasn't focused on the things that in my life that I wanted. I was focused on what was going on around me. But once I tuned into myself and started focused on what I wanted, I was able to cultivate a life that was for me and go in the direction that I wanted to go in, right? So people are gonna voice their opinions on you, and their standards and their judgments on you. And it can be people that are close to you, and it's more so people that are close to you. People that are not close to you are not gonna have that big of an effect on you, but the people that are close to you are the ones that have an effect on you, and they're gonna want certain things for you, and it's out of what we consider love, right? So we're not actually loving each other in the right way. And what I mean by that is we're supposed to love unconditionally. So we're supposed to let people be how they are, because we're on our own individual journeys, right? And so when we figure that out within ourselves, we're able to love each other unconditionally. But we get these connections with people, and we think we're loving each other unconditionally, but we're actually not, right? We're loving each other to our own personal standards. But when you can actually open up and love each other unconditionally, you're going to allow that person to be who they are and learn the things that they need to learn, and be in the world that they want to be in, right? And still be able to connect with that person, still be able to love that person, whether it's from afar, whether it's up close, it doesn't matter. It's like you still maintain that loving connection with that person in spirit or in physical, it doesn't matter. But you allow that person to be who they are. That's the unconditional love, the love without conditions, right? But we're not taught to love that way in this life. We're in this physical plane, we're taught to love in a sense that's possessive, in a sense that is put up against or compared to what is expected of us, right? But we're not given the freedom to allow us to follow our own expectations, right? And that's a societal thing, but it's up to us to take that, because it is a freedom, it is our right, it is our birthright, in order to stand in the power of who we are and move in the direction of where we want to move. So we have to kind of take that and allow ourselves to live in that, regardless of whether society thinks it's right or wrong. When I say society, I mean society at large. I mean your community. I mean anybody outside yourself is society, right? So it's allowing yourself to move beyond that, and actually live in the purpose you're meant to live in. And that's, your purpose is how you're guided, how you want to live, how you feel, what's right for you. You know what I'm saying? So when we allow ourselves to do that, and we allow one another to do that, that's when we create that unconditional love. And that's when we're able to live in that manner. We're able to extend that unconditional love to other people and other relationships in our life, rather than being possessive, rather than being imposing on other people's lives, right? But in the meantime, if we find that out for ourselves, and we realize that people are getting to, they're coming into that realization, but they're not actually there yet, we can offer compassion and grace for that, but actually validate our own selves in the direction that we're moving, but offer grace and compassion for those who don't get it yet, right? And they're loving in the sense of possessiveness, in the sense of lack, in the sense of I can lose you, or you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not in your role, right? But we're slowly, everybody at their own pace is moving in the direction of getting out of that, mindset of things are supposed to be a certain way, and getting into the mindset of there are ways that are unique to ourselves that we need to nurture, that we need to grow, that we need to cultivate in order to live the life that we want to live, to live in the satisfaction that we want to live, instead of settling for things that are not satisfactory, instead of settling for things that are harming us, that we are pushing down so deep inside that we become sick, right? That we become physically sick because there are things in our life that are dissatisfactory, and that's and harmful in a way. Emotionally, it's harmful for our being, and we've become used to it, but it's toxic, so it's slowly killing us. It's slowly getting us into a mindset of lack, into a mindset of not having enough. You know what I'm saying? So we have to make the decision to bounce back from that, to get in the mindset of abundance, and to figure out those things that are pulling us down and rid those of our life. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of those things that are pulling us down so that we can pull ourselves up, and so that we can come into a life that is more satisfactory, that is more healthy. Because when we're happy and when we're satisfied and when we're in alignment with ourselves, we're not sick. You know what I'm saying? We're in alignment. We're in alignment. So the sickness comes when we're out of alignment, right? And the heartache comes when we're out of alignment. So our imperative is our desire is really to get into alignment with who we are, with what we want, with how we want to live our lives, you know? So that's what we need to do.